Very good day or otherwise time-appropriate greetings to you folks here on SpeedGaming 3. Welcome to the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer weekly community race. We got a good one for you today, folks. It's our only even weekly of the month, and today we have Mighty Caesar and Cestrion showing their skills for you. I am Captain MD. We are being tracked in this afternoon's race by Op82, and it's going to be a good time, folks. So we have even weekly settings, which means that we are currently starting, we're still starting in main energy controller. I don't remember if we start with Violet Translator. I don't think we do start with Violet, okay. But we will see what our runners can do today. Now it is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Looks like Cestrion's a little, hold on a second, folks. Nope, never. As soon as I say it in chat, it gets sorted out. But yes, folks, we are off. Now, we should like to point out that as it is the second weekend of September, our next race on Sunday will not be Prime 1. It will be Cross Game. So look forward to that coming up tomorrow, same time. Maybe same channel. And we get a bombs start today. This is one of the better items to pick up as in your opener as you get access to easy temple assembly site, transport B access, a good number of items. And we see that temple assembly site contains a movement system, so we're looking at a potentially free space jump today. Be something else if that was grapple beam. That would just be funny. All right. Cestrion going ahead and scanning the door before getting into the battlefield. So that's very helpful to scan before going into the battle arena, as that renders the door down ahead of time. If you had space jump, you can jump over the force field and drop the scan the switch, the door switch. But without space jump, we're not getting that luxury. You might have noticed Cestrion's hand is blue. We are now running in version 6.2 of Randomizer, which enables custom suit models for Echoes. This is something that we've previously shown off in Prime 1, but this just released in version 6.2 for Echoes last week. Late last week, so we now will be graced with some new suit textures. And I do believe CGC will get this luxury as well, as they will be running on 6.2 for the race tomorrow. Not much else to say at this moment, since we're fighting Alpha Splinter with the bog standard charge beam. So despite a slightly late start getting into Alpha Splinter, it looks like Mighty Caesar got a head start here on the Alpha Splinter damage, so is going to be able to get out of here a little bit faster, assuming delays with the door don't become an issue. And we get Screw Attack on Alpha Splinter, so this is literally already Cetus Frius. How much do you want to bet it's Space Jump and Temple Assembly Site? Alright, and that is a Power Bomb expansion in Transport B access. Our runner's going to get that immediately to have access to Power Bombs, even though Require Mains is not required. So yeah, this is looking like a very fast opener here, folks. Our runners with their current equipment will be able to check Temple Assembly Site, Communications Area, Hive Chamber B. Oh, Mighty Caesar is also running a bright suit texture as well. Nice silver suit. Love to see it. And what is that movement system? Screw Attack is also an optimal way to get tasked. That looks like it's Space Jump. And looks like Cestrion's gonna just take it nice and easy and use bombs. So if this is Space Jump, this also gives us access to GFMC. And And it's Space Jump. So, yeah, we're looking at least a baby opener here. You know, whether or not it's a baby seed depends on if we need Echo and Annihilator Beam or not. That seems to be the recurring trend in my weeklies. And indeed, we are seeing runners go for Dynamo Chamber as well as Comm Area. This is not a bad play to get them both out of the way while you're here. I'm a little bit concerned by the fact that Missile Launcher is Power Bomb locked here. That leads me to suspect that Power Bombs are like right around the corner. Oh, they ain't here. They might be in GFMC. Gonna see a Reliquary hint check from Cestron, seeing that it is missile related and Reliquary, so that is dead. Cestron taking advantage of the first layer of Comm Area to discover that the Splinters, not discover, but knows that the Splinters do in fact drop Power Bombs. And Mighty Caesar, in the meantime, has doubled back for Storage Cavern B really quick to grab a not a missile tank, a beam ammo tank in the cavern. But is now making the way back to Comm Area. And in GFMC is another Burger. So Cestron gonna elect to dupe that to get a third Power Bomb. So 3 Power Bombs before Aegon with bombs and Screw Attack already in tow is quite useful, especially since Cestron's gonna make a detour to Grand Wind Chamber here. With our current equipment, we can actually already pick it up out of logic. And to answer question, chat, yes, I did make this, which is a little weird, but again, we'll see how the end game plays out. Mighty Caesar remembering that this is on new patcher, that you do not need to go into the tunnel and throw the switch. Was that another cheeseburger in Wind Chamber? I think so. Well, I think we found a majority of our Power Bomb expansions. And Wind Chamber Gate rewards us with a Sky Temple key, which, nice to have. We do need it. Interestingly, Mighty Caesar did not get a bomb drop after the second hit from the crates. So yeah, we've already seen 4 out of 5 Power Bomb expansions. 7 Power Bomb expansions this seed. It's 8 in Prime. It's 8 Power Bombs in Prime 1. It's 10 in Prime 2. Anywho, so Cestron is going to go ahead and check the item in Transport A access real quick. So we're seeing a delayed Aegon start here, courtesy of those Power Bombs and Screw Attack early. Now, Transport A access currently out of logic until we get either Emerald Translator or Dark Visor and Seeker Missiles. It should also be known this is actually out of logic from this direction anyway, because we don't even have logical access to main missiles, as those are currently locked by main Power Bombs. So again, very peculiar start to the seed. Although that being said, main Power Bombs are probably... main Power Bombs are chilling in Transport A access. So the mystery deepens then. These Power Bombs are currently locked by Emerald Translator. So that being said, it is very likely Emerald Translator will show up either in Mining Station Access or Portal Access A. As I believe, Hive Chamber B could also have Emerald Translator, but those are the only 3 checks currently in logic with our equipment. Actually, I'm not even sure Space Jump Screw Attack works in this logic to get around. I do think, I think Hive Chamber B we actually have to wait out on for a little bit. But yeah, we'll be seeing a few more elements of the new patcher later, especially in Sanctuary. Those are where the meat of the new patcher adjustments are made. And we're seeing Mighty Caesar follow suit into Transport A access, so that will give main Power Bombs. And Cestron just making that quick detour for this light ammo tank here in Storage Cavern B. So, yeah, again, great movement systems to start, but we're entering Aegon with no beams. And no beams is probably one of the weirder starts to have. Again, Space Jump Screw Attack is nice, but not being able to go to, like, labs via Sand Canyon or whatnot is a little bit of a wonky routing conundrum that you will have to encounter later. And we do see that Cestron is going to make this detour for Hive Chamber B real quick. Not necessarily a bad play, since it seems that he's currently trying to play around mostly the early bombs. And it looks like only extra missiles. So if Mighty Caesar goes straight for Aegon here and skips Hive Chamber B, that could help fix their... they're a little bit behind as far as execution in this opener right now, so we'll see what how Mighty Caesar chooses to respond to this. If he chooses to go straight to Aegon, or if he makes the detour to Hive Chamber B. We're going to see the Accursed Lake hint here, which reads that it is a key. So that could be literally anything. We don't have any key hints right now. All right, and the elevator gives us an Amber translator right off the bat, and a hint read here that reads, Light Beam is in Aegon Wastes, which, okay, so we know Light Beam is chilling pretty much right around the corner. Having Amber translator right as you're entering Aegon, perfect for reading the 4 hints that'll be immediately available. The 5th one is in Mining Station B. That is locked by Dark Beam plus Seeker Missiles. Although these runners, I think, do know Seekerless Mining Station B, so could head in that direction if necessary. Gonna get our Mining Plaza hint here, and that is a Sky Temple key in Mining Plaza, folks. You love to see it. We see that the Emerald Translator is a room away from Junction Site. Which means it's on Jump Guardian, which should be in logic right now, courtesy of bombs. So that will put us into logical harmony. That will give us access to power bombs in Transport A access, which will by extension give us logical access to missiles in Dynamo Chamber. So we are all put together, but we do get a Dark Burst in Mining Station access. It could be useful a little bit later. I have no idea what that is in Mining Station A. All right, Portal Access A, our next check coming up here, and it is Light Beam, as hinted previously. So it looks like Cestron is going, let's see what he chooses to do here. He's going to go back to Aegon. I assume this is a play to Aegon Temple and Sand Canyon, because with Screw Attack, Power Bombs, and Light Beam, there is a very large amount you can do. Okay, that is a missile tank in Mining Station A. Thank you, Cestron, for taking a minute to look up and show us that. But yeah, I suspect we might be seeing a Aegon Temple play here next. But the Scan Visor is useful for gathering information. It has already given us quite a bit of information on how the logical path to Emerald Translator has been mapped out. Other than that, so far, not really a lot of information pertaining to the seeds long term. Right now, we know we need Echo Visor because of Mining Plaza, and I'm not convinced our runners want to do the SAU again. We've seen that really bite runners in the backside in a previous weekly. Alright, so luckily Cestrion's Power Bomb there caught the tail of Bomb Guardian, because with Power Bombing Bomb Guardian, the main health bar will only drain if the tail has also been hit, so that Bomb Guardian is properly vulnerable. And like clockwork, we get our first Aegon key here on Bomb Guardian, and knowing what we know now, we need that. Now, folks, we have just concluded the Metroid Prime 1 Randomizer tournament this past week. So we would like to extend our congratulations to all the volunteers in SpeedGaming for all their work in making the plethora of restreams be shown to you folks here at home. But our next tournament on the docket is going to be cross game, multi-world cross game. That is the discussion will be in the works shortly. The tournament organizers just need a bit of a break to unwind from the insanity that was the finale of the Prime 1 tournament. So with what we know now, Sand Canyon perfectly in logic right now, and actually Sank is in logic as well. We can at least do Hazing Cliff in logic. The other two checks, we need Spider Ball for Hall of Combat Mastery, and at least 2 energy tanks or Dark Suit for Hazing Cliff. Of which we have not yet seen an energy tank. So let's see. Cestron's just going to take it a little easy going through here. Actually, no, wait. Cestron did get an energy tank. Where did that come out of? Aegon Energy Controller? I assume Aegon Energy Controller. Because it was a missile tank in Sand Canyon. And we are indeed going to see that early Spider's Treasure play. Now, Hall of Combat Mastery we can get now, courtesy of Screw Attack. It just has to be a little bit precise, but we'll see how Cestron goes about this. Mighty Caesar following suit here pretty much. Not really a whole lot else we can do given our equipment. We could go to labs, we could do the loop around, but there are a few checks we would have to give up right now, such as Storage C and even Storage D if Dark Beam's not just chilling in there vanilla. We also can't do sand processing without either hard BSJs or Boost Ball. And something that Mighty Caesar actually just confirmed with us as well, and Cestron did check this in as well, is Quad is dead, for now. And what is that in... Calling Chamber? That might actually be a Sky Temple key. In which case, Cestron is going to have to wait it out a minute to grab that. No, it's a ball upgrade. It's Booster Cannon. Obviously, it can't be Spider Ball because... And it is Boost Ball. Interesting spot for that. So Boost is Spider Lock today. So that all being said, it was, I believe, a missile tank in... a missile tank in Hazing Cliff. So Cestron electing to not pick that up. So at this point, the Sank Dive pretty much ends here. The only thing you could possibly do in these runner shoes is check the Dynamo Works tunnel. Other than that, you're pretty much done here without Dark Beam. Ooh, Mighty Caesar's Bomb just catching that pill bug there to avoid getting smacked. Pretty much the optimal way to do it if you're not taking extra time to take out the pill bug. But it looks like after some contemplation, Mighty Caesar is electing to skip the Spider's Treasure play, which for now this is okay, but it is gonna cause Mighty Caesar to lose out on that Boost Ball knowledge for now. And we do see both runners heading back in the direction of the front of Aegon. So we're probably going to see a run to Junction Site now to go get that, to Jump Guardian to get that Emerald Translator from both runners. We'll also be given an additional hint in Portal Terminal. Looks like Mighty Caesar's going to elect to go to Labs here. Very interesting play given what we know. But we do have a few things we can do. We can check Central Mining Station. We can check command center. We can do almost all of the labs loop up to storage D, but we're going to be missing out on as well sand processing and storage C. But there are about 5 items in this neighborhood if you check storage D properly. 6 if you add main reactor on top of it. Which with screw attack, our runners could get with a precise screw attack in the tunnel. So yeah, we see Mighty Caesar's decision to not go to Sanctuary causing them to pull ahead just a smidge here. Now, I didn't see what actually was in Central Mining Station. Unfortunately, I can't see on Cestrion's side either, so we'll have a quick peek at this in a minute. But it looks like Mighty Caesar wants to do a quick peek of this, so he will do a bomb space jump to get up to the top of the turret here. But it looks like, actually, it must have not been particularly valuable because it looks like Mighty Caesar's just going straight into Command Center now. Cestrion electing to go down from the bottom. Mighty Caesar is actually reloading Central Mining here in order to spawn the hint in this area, because the hint of the Luminoth Keybearer corpse does not appear until the second layer of this room. Looks like a missile tank in Command Center. And another missile tank in Central Mining Station, but the hint reads that Battleground is a life support system. There is a very non-zero chance that that is a suit. Other than that, for the moment, it looks like that is where Cestrion's Labs dive is going to end. And he is going to most likely make the Dark Aegon play here for Emerald Translator. All right, and this hint here in Portal Terminal reads that the power bomb can be found in Great Temple. Thanks, game. Only had that for like 15 minutes. We're seeing Mighty Caesar here like to dive deeper into labs here to check the item in bioenergy production and presumably main reactor and storage D. And it looks like Cestrion is not Cestrion, excuse me. Mighty Caesar is not particularly interested in the item. It appears to be a energy tank. Oh, looks like Mighty Caesar is gonna do a bit of a roundabout strategy here to pick. Oh, yeah. So yeah, what Mighty Caesar is just gonna do is screw attack around the central pillar here. And try and sneak onto that third one, but didn't quite make it. Unfortunately, your maneuverability in screw attack is quite limited. It's a little better in Prime 3, but Prime 2, it's quite rough. Looks like that was another cheeseburger up top in Crossroads. So that is now 4 out of 7 cheeseburgers that we've seen so far. Because we ended up duping the one in GFMC. But yeah, Cestrion is going to now perform, well, let's see exactly what he chooses to do. Yeah, he's going to perform, as I like to call, low energy tank trial tunnel, or as I like to call, standard trial tunnel procedures. Because it's very often that we will just go plowing through to trial tunnel without stopping, even though there's very little energy available. The main reason being is that, besides Dark Aether, there's nothing that can kill you between Dark Aegon Temple access and the door. and Trial Tunnel. So we do see that it is another Sky Temple key, which we do need, and bit of a bummer that that's not another Aegon key. We are still looking for 2 for access to a Morbus, and we do know that that is required for an STK and Mining Plaza. Interesting that Cestron's choosing to get a health refill here, because you do get health refilled anyway from being in this light field. Not much of it, but you do still get it. Alright, Mighty Caesar with Screw Attack in tow can still peak Storage D and get out of main reactor safely. And by using the by getting out back into sand processing, he will be able to check the item in main reactor after reloading the room. And Jump Guardian had Emerald Translator, we knew that already. And that looked like a beam ammo tank in Junction Site itself. Storage D is a missile, so nothing of importance there. We're going to see the main reactor check from Mighty Caesar, but it looks like he was not interested. Alright, and Mighty Caesar is going to attempt a BSJ combined with standable terrain here to check the item in sand processing without boost ball. So you can see that Mighty Caesar's just barely able to get onto the turret there, but did not get to stand on the outer wall. So is going to try again here. Oh, the bot might have fallen asleep, because that command should have worked. Yeah, the bot's asleep today. Sorry about that, folks. Ooh, Cestron about to pick up a Sunburst here in Transport Center. With Light Beam in tow, that is a perfectly usable Sunburst. Where was that when we needed it 40 seconds ago fighting Jump Guardian? Oh, well. Alright, sand processing discovered to be another energy tank. And we're going to see Mighty Caesar. Mighty Caesar doesn't have a way out in this direction. Without Spider Ball, he might just be SJ out to Sand Canyon. This is going to be Mighty Caesar's check of main reactor, and it is just another missile. So yeah, Mighty Caesar's only way out is either to BSJ up the spider track here to get to Sand Canyon, or to slope jump up the half pipe here in sand processing to get back to the save station. That's currently their only way out. But we are seeing Cestron make a detour to Meeting Grounds. This is most likely to at least read the hints. With Light Beam and our current equipment, we do have access to Torvus Lagoon, and Cestron could get it with an air underwater. To clarify with chat, the command for the weekly does not give you the permalink for the seed. The missile launcher, ooh, big information. Missile launcher is exactly 3 rooms away from Spider Ball. That means it is in GFMC on the ship, locked by Jump Guardian. Because we've seen everything else in that neighborhood. Yeah, that's the only place it can be. Excellent information here. We're seeing Cestron do a peek at Hall of Honor dead here, and after this is most likely going to make his way back to landing site, allowing him to check Hive Chamber A. And now that he knows what is known, about Spider Ball, go pick that up. Cestron will exit Hall of Honor dead via screw attack. Mighty Caesar has gotten out of sand processing, so is on his way out of labs. All right, so Spider Ball puts Boost Ball into play as well back in Sanctuary, and that opens, well, without beams, it doesn't help that much for Sanctuary, but it is all ball upgrades. All ball upgrades, but only Light Beam is a very strange scenario to be in, because we also have no Seeker Missiles, which means we can't go to Torvis. Never mind. Dark Beam on DMT means we now have proper Torvis access to the front door. So, and this also gives us access to a very large amount of Sanctuary. We can now go all the way up to Sank Temple. We can't go to Watch Station. We need either Annihilator or Light Beam. Actually, we have Light Beam. What am I saying? So yeah, we have actually the vast majority of Sanctuary available to us now. So this seat has pretty much just opened up. So yeah, a little bit of a rough path to Spider Ball here, but otherwise, it does seem like our seat has opened up. Now, because we have no missile upgrades, we still don't really have a logical way into Sky Temple Gateway to read hints. Now, that being said, it is possible to check them without either missile upgrade. However, with only one energy tank, Cestron is not doing that anytime soon. And we are going to see Cestron make that GFMC return here to go pick up Spider Ball. Now, Sank Entrance is in play with this equipment. So it's possible we can have like Annihilator or a suit in Sank Entrance. We'll see if Cestron chooses to make that gamble. But as you can see, Cestron not particularly happy about that Spider Ball location. You never want to have to go back to GFMC for a second dip, but at the very least, this will enable Cestron to read another hint here, which reads that Dark Beam is 3 rooms away from Temple Grounds Hive storage. Thanks, game. We just got it. But it looks like he is not interested in making the Sank Entrance dive, which I can understand completely given the circumstances, because again, it's a very out-of-the-way single check. So not a particularly pleasant one. All right, now Mighty Caesar making the Dark Aegon dive here. Unfortunately, is not going to get a whole lot besides that Emerald Translator. All right, Cestron now heading back to Aegon. At this point, what does Beams give Cestron? It will give him, in Cache 4, What else? Storage D. So Cestron can make the full lapse loop with virtually no regrets. May even go out of bounds for storage C. We'll see. But, yeah, meantime, that Sky Temple Key and Mining Plaza definitely keeping everybody on edge. But it looks like Cestron's not going to do the SAU for it now, which, again, I don't blame him. It's a trick that, if it works, it'll save you eons, but we don't know if a Morbus is required either. So if a Morbus is required, then it's kind of a moot point. I think we had a seed recently where runners did the SAU, but a Morbus had Echo Visor anyway. So quite comical. Randomizer does have a way of inspiring laughter, and it looks like we're going to see the mine shaft check here from Cestron. We could also see a seekerless mining station B here. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. So seekerless mining station B here. Cestron's going to hit the upper left switch and then try and screw attack all four by aiming like so. Not a particularly easy seekerless, but also not the hardest one in the universe either. All right, storage A is missiles. Now, this is out of logic. Seeker missiles, at the very least, won't be here. Up top, we have gravity boost. Fascinating spot for that. Cestron BSJ screw attacking it with the greatest of ease. And the hint in this room reads, a major upgrade can be found in GFMC compound. Gee, I wonder if that's referring to Spider Ball. And the reason why Spider Ball was effectively hinted twice is because the hint in Meeting Grounds was pointing to Missile Launcher, not Spider Ball directly. So because Spider Ball was not the primary target of the Meeting Grounds hint, Spider Ball was effectively hinted twice here. Anyway, gotta be honest with you, these hints have been kinda trash today, save for pointing out Spider Ball for Cestron. We are going to see him now make that detour for Boost Ball, however, because Boost Ball, a great speed advantage, whereas Mighty Caesars wrapped up the Dark Aegon dive, is heading back out to Transport Center. Most likely will pick up Sunburst. Now again, with Boost Ball in tow, pretty much the entirety of Sanctuary is open with both beams. So I'm wondering if Cestron's probably going to... Pardon me. Cestron's probably going to bust out of Culling Chamber here and not go any further. Because there really is no point. No Seeker Missiles, no Echo Visor. And now, that being said, Cestron is still running on only one energy tank, so does not have a lot of Dark either time. It's only about 30 seconds. So yeah, he's going to play it a little safe here and take out the Warrior Ing here. Now, Cestron is, I think, waiting for a full health restore before going for this, and after which He will shoot a light beam shot here to reignite this the safe zone in order to have it stay active for 30 seconds. Should be enough for him to at least seek a little bit of refuge when time comes. Like so. Now, getting out will be a little easier than getting in, courtesy of Boost Ball. Chat asking if I would take the same risk. Probably. As you can see, Cestron does still have quite a bit of leftover time here as a result of playing this carefully. I would say in a similar situation, I would probably do the same. But yeah, indeed, that is not a particularly easy route to go, especially when you're doing the first half of it without Boost Ball. Now, Mighty Caesar is about to, unfortunately, get the very bad news that Boost Ball is chilling here in Culling Chamber, and that it is not available right now. All right, in the meantime, Cestron electing to do the labs loop now. So the time that he sort of gained on Mighty Caesar is now going to be sort of countered. But we'll see how Mighty Caesar... Unfortunately, Mighty Caesar now needs to go back for Spider Ball, which we know is on GFMC's ship. Hinted in 2 separate places. Alright, so yeah, Cestron's going to basically just loop around labs here. Not much to see here that hasn't already been seen, although we may see Cestron detour briefly to Storage C. We see a beam-related upgrade can be found in Dark Oasis. The only thing that can be of extreme note is Annihilator, since that can't be, since Super Missiles lock Lower Torvis. And the reason we say Lower Torvis is because... the item in Dark Oasis is not actually visible. The in-cache isn't actually visible until you acquire the item from Powerbomb Guardian. So without that item, you are unable to acquire... the in-cache will not load. All right, and we see that Mighty Caesar is now making their way out of Mining Station Access and out of Aegon. So he will now make his way to grab... good grief, what is it? Spider Ball. Definitely got a much better view of that STK and Mining Plaza. So it does seem like our progress has kind of slowed... I wouldn't say slowed down a little bit, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any new information for a few minutes here, as our runners are basically going to be retracing each other's steps. Ooh, Cestron just barely making that cycle. Well done. And now Cestron sees the energy tank and is going to... okay, this is going to be an out of bounds here. Like so. And this will allow Cestron to check Storage C. Storage C normally needs super missiles, so we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, what we're going to see Cestron do here is bomb jump his way up to the top of the room and essentially just walk around the top of the room in order to get to Storage C's door, like so. And I looked away for 3 seconds seeing Mighty Caesar get Dart Beam, and I missed what it was, but I will check on the playback. But given that Mighty Caesar hasn't gone for it, it can't be anything particularly substantial. And it is not. It is a missile tank. Now, Mighty Caesar's routing has elected to go for Dark Beam first before Spider Ball, just like Cestron has done, so isn't going to lose any time here. Has not gone to Meeting Grounds for the hint yet, but at this point, I would wager that he will head in that direction anyway, since GFMC ship should be now open. And it's possible he could be considering Sank entrance. We do find another one of those Aegon keys behind Dark Beam in Storage B. So there's one more Aegon key left, and there's a good chance it's in Dark Aegon somewhere. Because we now also have access to the Doomed Entry neighborhood and in Cache 1 with Battleground. That was locked down on our first pass due to a lack of Dark Beam. And I believe up there in Doomed Entry is Sonic Boom. We'll probably grab that on the way to Battleground, but it's not important right now. And indeed, Mighty Caesar is going for Spider Ball. We have another energy tank here in Cache 1. This actually gives Cestron enough energy tanks to do quite a number of things. 4 energy, that can allow you to do, for example, if you had Seekers and Supers, that could give you Sky Temple key hints without suits. It could give you Plane of Dark Worship with Screw Attack and no suits again. And knowing Cestron, that's probably where a progressive suit is currently lying. See if Mighty Caesar decides to check Fortress transport access, but it looks like he is interested in Sank entrance. And I think we just found the last Aegon key. Literally vanilla. Sure, why not? Well, that gives Cestron a choice to make here, because that does open up a Morbus, which we know is required anyway because of, we know that's required anyway because of Mining Plaza. Cestron had that was a clean battleground. Unfortunately, no super missiles, so Cestron would have to take the long way if he elects to go fight a Morbus at this time. I could see him doing this because he has not yet checked storage in Cache 4. He's missed out on the Dark Beam checks here. So I could see a world where Cestron checks this. But I also wouldn't be surprised if a Morbus is just holding on to Echo Visor again. And indeed, we are seeing Mighty Caesar bust out of Sank entrance. Interestingly, not electing to go pick it up. Oh, that's right. Mighty Caesar needs to go back for Boost Ball. Thanks for reminding me, chat. Yeah, the spider to boost chain is actually... This is actually pretty trash. Because you have to fight Jump Guardian to get Emerald Translator to go get your power bombs. While you're at it, you need to go back to GFMC for Spider Ball. Now, granted, you could delay GFMC until you fought Jump Guardian. But neither of our runners did that. And as a result, they had to fight Jump Guardian, go get Spider Ball, go all the way back to Sank for boost, and then they could do Sank Entrance. So if Sank Entrance is progression or a Sky Temple key, this is gonna be trash. All right, Cestron is now going to show us some new information here, delivering us the rest of Sanctuary here. And again, plenty of things to do here. We can see pretty much everything from here all the way around. We can go all the way around. The only downside is we do not have the shortcut through Sentinel's Path available to us. And we see that another key can be found in Hive Dynamo Works, and there is another Sky Temple key inside Dynamo Works Tunnel. Ah, it must be a Cestrion. It must be a Cestrion race, because that is a progressive suit in Plane of Dark Worship. Unfortunately, Mighty Caesar didn't quite make it to the suit. Yeah, he went in there with only 200 energy, which wasn't gonna do it. Now, I don't know when Mighty Caesar's last save was. It's in the sand processing save station. It is before he went to sand processing. He just got knocked way back. Unfortunately, that appears to be a knockout, as Mighty Caesar has forfeited and will not be finishing. Very unfortunate. Yeah, because that would have knocked Mighty Caesar back about 30, not 30 minutes, but definitely getting up there. But yeah, what a shock. Cestrion's racing, and there's a suit in Plane of Dark Worship. Now, logically speaking, that is Light Suit. And Mighty Caesar does join us in the Twitch chat again. GG's to you. You're seeing some elements of the new patcher here in main gyro, as Cestrion's puzzle in the gyro rooms is random. So that's a thing we've implemented with the new patch, is that the setup is not always the same anymore. Sank Temple access is, I believe that is another Sky Temple key. Okay, so that key is locked by Dark Visor. Actually, no, it's not. It's locked by both visors. Logically, because that BSJ screw attack is not normally a logical trick. Whoops! Looks like Cestrion slipped off a little bit there. But we are going to see if O'Lear has any valuable items for us. So far, Sanctuary, besides Boost Ball, having nothing but a ton of keys. Because, yeah, we know there's a key in Hive Dynamo. We know there's a key in the Dynamo Works Tunnel. We know there is a key in Sank Temple access. Just a missile on O'Lear. All right, so no Cobalt Translator means we're still going to be kind of hint-starved going through the area. Now, Torvis has been open to us ever since Darkbeam, pretty much. Actually, technically, no, it hasn't. Torvis is still out of logic until we find either Seeker missiles, Super missiles, or a suit that isn't the one in Plane of Dark Worship. Cestrion doing a setup that I am not familiar with to hitting the bomb slot here. Personally, I like to get to the end of the second elevated spider track and aim towards the left side of that red U, near Sentinel's path, and jump back from there. And I see that was another key in a red key of some kind in aerial training site. Cestrion not interested in picking it up. We don't know if that's a Hive or Torvis key. If that's a Hive key, I'm gonna giggle a little bit because that's 2 vanilla red keys. And to clarify with chat, I believe the amount of damage resistance from the Inkclaw damage goes up to 80% when picking up Dark Suit, but it's not completely negated until the room is reloaded, if Dark Suit is picked up in Plane of Dark Worship. Something along that line, and that is another red key in Vault. Very interesting that Cestrion is choosing to ignore these. Personally, I am of the belief that if you do not have the hint, get the key. And we don't have the hints for Chica. And there are super missiles in Cat West. Perfectly in logic, and that gives us our proper Torvis access. Followed by another Sky Temple key in main research. At the rate we're going, we might not even need, we might be seeing that Mining Plaza SAU out of Cestrion. And I don't know what that is in Transit Station, but Cestrion is not going for it, so it couldn't have been anything too particularly substantial. And another missile. So, yeah, we're pretty much done here in Sanctuary. We're about to see what the random shutdown puzzle sequence here is, because this is also randomized in New Patcher. Amber, Cobalt, Emerald, Crimson. Interesting. And Mighty Caesar joins us here in the booth. GG to you, friend. Oh, looks like Cestrion is electing to skip to not bother. So I believe this is going to be a warp to start from Cestrion here. Oh dear. That was a little peculiar. Haven't seen that before. Say it with me, chat. That's never happened before.
Sorry about that. Got my mic messed up.
No problem, Mighty Caesar. GG's once again.
That's an embarrassing way to lose a run. Autopilot into the front of Sank without boost, and then died trying to get a suit.
Yeah, Cestrion actually did do the same thing on his first pass to Sanctuary. Went without Spider Ball. So saw the boost ball. Spider Ball was actually hinted twice. The hint in Meeting Grounds pointed to Missile Launcher 3 rooms from Spider Ball, which the only place that could have been is GFMC. And then Spider Ball was hinted directly in Mining Station B.
Got it.
So yes, the Spider Ball logic is actually kind of rude. The Boost Ball logic's really rude now because it's Jump Guardian, back to GFMC, back to Sanctuary.
Yep. Well, back to Aegon, back to Sanctuary.
Yes, because we have no sign of Dark Visor or Seeker missiles yet. We've only just recently found supers in Cat West, so all the way on the polar opposite end of Sanctuary. And on that note, we are going to get some Sky Temple key hints from Cestrion, and it does. We do know where a couple of these are. We know there's one in the Dynamo Works tunnel. There might be one in Hive Dynamo Works, and we know there's one in Mining Plaza. So yeah, what did you think about the STK in Mining Plaza?
It's one of the reasons that I wasn't too upset at, like, okay, you know what, I'm forfeiting here is not the worst thing in the world.
I do not fault you one bit for that, and to that I say, welcome to my weeklies.
Yep. Last week, did you spin last week's seed?
I think I spun it. I don't remember if I was around for it.
I took 4 hours to beat it.
Yeah, I remember now because it was a translator nightmare, that seed was. Yeah. Because that seed needed literally like all the translators. Like Emerald was needed just to get through one elevator for a Sky Temple key and Sank entrance or something along that line.
And they're all locked in like really convoluted item paths.
Yeah, that was nuts. All right, so Cestrion has enough energy to scan the remaining hints here, but it looks like he's electing to take a quick pit stop. Maybe go back for more health. I'm intrigued by this play to go back to Hall of the Eyes.
It maybe gave me the funny moment of seeing, oh, my in-game time was half of my real time.
Oh my. All right, that's going to give Cestrion 2 energy tanks back. That should do it. He's still going to have to play carefully here to make it across. All right, now he's got enough health. Now, I'm not sure if he wants to preserve these hints.
It'd be pretty tight if he wants to do that.
Yeah, Screw Attack does help in this regard. He should be okay if he does want to save them. He's got 4 keys, all right. Let's see. Now, we know a couple of these. Mining Plaza, we knew that already. Portal Chamber, all right, that's free. Hive Dynamo, yep, we knew that already too, kind of. Cache A, and the last one's going to be Dynamo Works, so the ones we don't, okay, so we hard need Dark Visor. So we're hunting for Dark. No way around it. That's pretty much it. Because I think we could, Cestrion can skip the Cobalt Translator gate here. Cache A can be done secretless, not without too much difficulty. And Dynamo Works Tunnel, it's actually possible to not fight Spider Guardian in this instance, if we find Dark Visor first. But we would need to find, we need to get out of bounds in Hive Dynamo, which is possible. Nice health drops there for Cestrion.
Very nice, a whole 3 tanks.
Yeah, so This seed has the potential to be quick, but it's entirely dependent on where Dark Visor is.
Well, Echo too. Or do we have a hint for that?
That's true. Echo as well. Cestron may do the SAU for that, for Mining Plaza, if it becomes too severe and that's like the last key that he needs.
Yeah.
Because I'm fairly certain he's at least familiar with it. All right. Another hint here in Path of Eyes, which reads that the Aegon keys, we've already gotten those games, thanks. Yeah, besides Spider Ball, the hints have been kind of trash today. Now, that being said, we do have Emerald hints, and there are 6 of those, and those tend to be the more valuable ones. So we'll see if we can get any valuable information out of that. Like maybe the student plane of the student plane of Dark Worship. You know it's a Cestron race when that's the case.
Yeah. In my experience, there's also a very high chance that one of the Emerald hints is going to be one of the joke hints.
Indeed. We have already seen one, so the other one's probably chilling. It is probably chilling in Torvis. Because, yeah, there are 12 hints total that are left. The 6 Emerald and the 6 Cobalts. We've seen the other 5 Violets and Ambers. Poison Bog is a key. Oh, that could be a problem if Chica is required. That could be a huge problem.
It could be vanilla Dark Visor.
Yeah,
like
that's
THK said.
That's what I'm thinking. That looks like a beam ammo tank. If that were a multiplayer pickup, that expansion would be way bigger.
Yeah, because it has the vanilla expansion model, doesn't it?
That as well. Hey, a progressive suit can be found in Plane of Dark Worship.
Excellent.
It never ends, Cestron. It never ends. I should react in the race time room with a simple :D.
I don't know, that could be a spoiler.
I'm not going to, but Cestron does say in the race time chat, why? That's a lot of whys. You love to see it, folks. To clarify with chat, yes, Poison Bog is a flying ink cache, which all ink caches hard require Dark Visor. All right, what is here in Torvis Temple? That looks to be more missiles. Good shot. Oop, early pause there. We're going to get to see the energy controller here as well as another hint. All right, energy controller is an energy tank. Not going to say no to that for now, since we are kind of still running suitless. Oh, no! Echo Visor in Sank map.
So, logically required light suit at the very least now.
I think that basically just dictated Cestrion's strategy for Mining Plaza.
Mm-hmm. Unless just ends up running into the other progressive suit while he's getting other HTKs.
That's true. It is. It would actually be nice if Cobalt and Dark Visor and Dark Suit came to route those all in together.
Because we know at least one of the progressive suits. It's not that unlikely that we'll just stumble upon another one as we go.
Indeed, and it has to be non-Dark Suit locked as well.
Yeah.
Since we know that Plane of Dark Worship would be Logical Light Suit.
It would have been funny if that had been the suit right there.
I know, except for some reason there isn't any progression in Underground Tunnel.
Really, there used to be.
Anyway. Actually, that might be seed solved for Cestrion. Well, actually, let's think this through a bit here. So, Amorbus has Dark Visor. So, I think if we find... I think Cestrion's looking to find Cobalt in the other suit at the very least. If both of those show up, then we're golden. We don't have to SAU anything. If one of those are late to the bandwagon, then, oh dear.
Sync map out of bounds is one of the worst things in the game, bro.
Oh, is that...
Because the transition in and out of it is almost impossible to get.
Oh my. I've heard that there may be some consideration for next Echoes tourney, maybe having some rules when coming to out of bounds. I don't know if that's the case or how the discussions progressed on that. If only because I'm aware there's like a lot of things we can skip now. Like recently we saw that we can SAU now out of Profane Path, for example. So it's like we're starting to need fewer and fewer things in conventional races. Found Cannonball, though.
Doesn't what need load delay THK?
The sank map out of bounds?
Or it could be one of the SAUs?
I've seen the SAU for Profane Path not use load delay. I've seen it use normal.
Would be the sync map. And yeah, I thought. Yeah, because I think it is actually isn't it actually impossible without the load delay because there's collision that blocks off like the entire area around the door.
I'm admittedly not familiar with that out of bounds, so I can't really answer that question. All right, well, there's another energy tank in... Oh, you know where Dark Visor could actually be? We know that there is a life support system in the Battleground in cache, so it's possible that Dark Suit could just be chilling there. Cestrion's just going to get that annoying Hunter-ing out of the way. And then do Seekerless Cache A for the Sky Temple key here. The way I was trained on this particular Seekerless is I actually prefer to jump from the mushroom, get the bottom left and bottom right switches on the way over, and just screw attack the center 3, but that's my personal preference. So that should be...
more missile accuracy, less screw attack accuracy required.
Yes. So that should be Cestrion's 5th key. He's about to get 6 in Portal Chamber. And then the last 2 are the Spider Guardian keys and Mining Plaza. So yeah, let's see how Cestrion chooses to deal with this. Because we need Dark Visor regardless, so Amorbus is hard required. I swear, if the other suit's on Chica, I'm gonna laugh. I doubt it, but I'm still going to laugh. All right, we're seeing Cestron do the out of bounds here to get to back to Torvis Lagoon. Having a bit of a hard time finding the forward ether jump here.
But I almost never see anyone do it on this side.
Yeah, I've always gone the other way as well. Although, I'm very out of practice with this trick.
Though what makes the other side a bit tricky is there are like several different aether boxes loaded at once.
Yeah, because you've got the aether box for Torvis Lagoon, which is way lower.
Mm-hmm. You end up just kind of having to like memorize, oh, here's what this is relative to various bits of geometry. But you can see it can be a little bit easier like that as long as you get it right.
Yeah, now one Sealing Warp later, and Cestron's now back in Lagoon. Should have loaded Lagoon properly now, yep. So yeah, I know there are skips for the 2 Spider Guardian keys, although we do, again, still need Dark Visor, so it looks like Cestron's gonna probably go back to Aegon and at least get Dark Visor, and then probably just SAU the Mining Plaza key now.
Are there any rooms in Dark Aegon that Cestron hasn't checked yet that are easily accessible?
Dark Aegon that we've seen already? No. Cestron in the race time, you are so banned, Cap. Welcome.
And I thought you said there wasn't any beef.
Welcome to my weeklies. All right, so Cestron is gonna go get the, or is oh, it's not gonna go get the Plane of Dark Worship suit.
It's a protest.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, he is turning back for Dark Suit. I mean, admittedly, I had Race the Sunburst. Although Sunburst doesn't have a particularly long range. Good escape speed, though. All right, so the Dark World should no longer scare Cestron beyond this point. That is a cool suit color.
Yeah, it's been over a decade since the last time I touched multiplayer, so I forgot how cool some of the skins are.
Indeed, yeah, it's nice to finally see these be enabled in 6.2. So yeah, folks, again, expect to see random suit colors all over the Prime weeklies now. I do believe this version also adds a trick viewer, so that way you can, I believe Randomizer will now link you to all the known tricks out there. Which I'm most definitely going to be starting to look stuff like that up later down the road. Before next tournament, because I am out of practice with a few things. Although I'm still debating whether I want to go out of my way to learn the SAU for Mining Plaza.
I forget, what does SAU stand for?
Screw Attack Unmorph. So basically what you do is you wall crawl out of Aegon, the Aegon transport, the Aegon elevator's tunnel. You screw attack out of bounds there by reaching the top of the wall, and wall crawl over to the vault to get the key, the item. And then when in the and with Mining Plaza still not loaded fully, you have to screw attack. You have to essentially unmorph. You have to essentially unmorph, screw attack, and then essentially when you pull out of your screw attack, essentially get an unmorph out of the screw attack using using the camera, and that will hopefully pop you out just on the top of the vault. But it's not. It's extremely difficult. All right, and we are seeing.
When. Sorry, you can
go on.
I remember this is still a relatively new type of trick, because I remember for a long time people didn't think there was a way to get the Mining Plaza thing without Echo, without like a. I think there was a load delay method, but I can't remember perfectly.
Yeah, I don't believe we allow load delay in competition.
Which we shouldn't. There's way too much variability.
Yeah, because there's major differences between console and emulator and all that jazz. Now, that all being said, Cestron is going to make this detour here for Dark Visor, since why not? We need it anyway. But yeah, the SAU strat is relatively new. The one for Profane Path, I think, was discovered only 2 or 3 months ago.
And Mining Plaza was what, like a year and a half, I think?
It's been around for some time. Alright, Cestron gets Worm Skip deployed here with Super Missiles. Well done. Super Missile is one of the harder methods of setting up Worm Skip. Light Beam or Secret Missiles is preferable because both of those track after firing, whereas Super Missiles do not if you break the lock.
So there definitely are some people who prefer it because you can do a fairly consistent thing without too much trouble if you.
Careful, Cestron. Okay. Cestron wisely not bombing the second head after doing Worm Skip twice, because if you do that, you soft lock. All right, Cestron is returning the Aegon energy, so I would wager that this could just be also insurance just in case he has trouble with the SAU.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it's like, what, 3.5 minutes at least to go back and get the energy?
Yeah.
Mostly just because you have actually no, it'd be like 3 extra cutscenes and 20-ish rooms.
Something along that line.
And the cutscenes by themselves are about 1.5 minutes of that.
Yeah, so now the next $1 million question really is, where's Lightsuit and Cobalt Translator, and will Cestron go looking for those?
We still have pretty much all of Dark Torvus and all of Lower Torvus left, which definitely opens up a lot of potential checks, some of them fairly slow.
Yeah, we've got 9 potential hints left with the 6 kobolds. What always hints have we seen? We've seen the Aegon key hints. We haven't seen any of the other key hints. We're missing 2 boss hints. Chica and Tumos haven't been hinted. So that's 4 always hints already still on the table. Okay, so Cestrion has taken a safety save here. Let's see what he does, because if he turns to the wall here, this is the SAU. But has taken a safety save just in case it goes wrong. And yep, here we go. So yeah, slope jump, screw attack here to this collision. This will allow Cestrion to go sailing out of bounds with a slightly well-timed screw attack to not, because there is a ceiling in here. So he needs to clear that gap carefully. I think he's screw attacking a little too early by the looks of it. Because, yeah, what needs to happen here is he needs to go over that ridge there and be able to fall out of bounds that way. But it looks like he's not quite getting over.
I think he's lining up a little bit too far to the left, too.
I'm amazed he saved that. And there we go.
Very nice.
So yeah, now Cestrion's going to go ahead and load Mining Plaza like so, reload the entranceway, back away to as not reload Mining Plaza, and is going to ceiling warp into the vault. Now, getting in is the easy part. Getting out is the trick here. So yeah, you're going to see, again, you're going to see Cestrion move back towards the camera, get an instant unmorph, jump out of it, and try to screw attack the ceiling, and then try to break out of the screw attack with with utilizing the camera here to pop up at the top of the vault.
Isn't it also possible to get stuck in the infinite screw attack thing here if something goes wrong?
It's possible, but I think I haven't seen it too often. Look, it's not my fault the Seed keeps constantly putting STKs in Mining Plaza. But yeah, in theory, with a properly placed bonk, Cestrion should be able to pop out of the vault. So, this could take a minute, but on the flip side, if this takes a relatively low amount of time, Cestrion will be able to skip Cobalt Translator and Light Suit. To not have to go get Echo Visor out of Sank Map Station.
Wonder how many tries Cestrion's willing to go for before boarding on the attempt.
Probably another 5 minutes or so, maybe. Because yeah, you definitely don't want to take too long with this, because we've seen runners take like literally like 40 minutes on this once.
I wonder if it's possible to get anywhere near consistent with this trick.
If it is, I do not know the way. Chat says this is like the bar skip of Echoes. No, this is more. This is worse than bar skip. Bar skip, you could at least get down to a T after a while. But hey, Cestrion's finally out.
Yeah, no, the bar skip of Echoes is probably getting into the backside of the spider boss fight with the instant unmorph into that tunnel thing.
Oh, the Dynamoworks tunnel?
Dynamoworks tunnel, yeah.
Yeah. I was trained on... Miguel trained me on the screw attack method, so that's the one I prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think Jagger G was the one who trained me on the slope jump screw attack method for Grand Wind Chamber. Well, that being said, Cestrion's trained me on a few things too, like Cashby Chasm, Aegon to Torvis Seekerless.
Even with practice, bar skip shouldn't take more than like 5 tries.
Yeah, the SAU is widely inconsistent because you're talking about screw attack bonking on collision that isn't loaded correctly. So it's not exactly defined, I guess, for lack of a better term. But yeah, that ultimately didn't take Cestrion too long. So the next thing on his docket is going to be Sanctuary. That should be his 7th key, question mark? Yeah, that's his 7th. The last 2 are in Sank. So if Cestrion could skip Cobalt Translator, then this seed will be over in 20 minutes. Now, how is Cestrion going to get out of bounds in Hive Dynamo? I don't think he's going to fight Spider Guardian here. Because I remember a 2021 tournament race. Was it 2021 or 2020? 2022. It might have actually been 2020. But I remember a tournament race. It was Op versus Kirby Master. I believe it was either late Swiss or early brackets, where both runners skipped Spider Guardian itself, got 2 red keys out of the other 2 checks. But Spider Guardian had a required Aegon key.
What is it?
And both runners basically last locationed it because they skipped Spider Guardian but got the other 2 keys. Or they were at least all keys. I think one of them might have been a Sky Key. But the point being, you know, Spider Guardian. And this was back in like 2020 when Spider Guardian was required like 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it's not as bad. Nowadays, it seems the game just loves to put STKs in Mining Plaza. Although, I've had a fair share of chickas lately. And my first couple times... Go on.
Sorry. Has anyone done a seed analysis on any of the newer versions, like we've done a few times previously?
Not that I'm aware of. Ooh, that didn't take very long at all. Well done, Cestrion. Alright, so yeah, now comes the hard part. Alright, so I think what Cestrion's going to do here is do a secret world or screw attack into the corner here to try and get out that way. And like so, because just walk right out of bounds. And slope jump up to the over to the portal here. Not slope jump, ether jump and standable terrain over to the portal. Like so. And just like that, Cestrion's in Hive Dynamo. So now all he needs to do is get out of Hive Dynamo and he's basically golden.
And that was a very clean wall crawl. It's like the actually getting the last bit can be surprisingly tricky, where you can end up dropping a little bit too far when you're dropping the power bomb and just fall out of bounds, and it is very, very deep.
Yeah, Hive Dynamo Works is a very deep chasm. Anyway, that is literally the only reason we need a Dark Visor. And yeah, I don't think... Yeah, Cestron's going to have to go out of bounds again here to get out. Or not. I think he's got to do it in Hive Dynamo.
Yeah, it's a screw attack into the tunnel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you have to go through the portal first in order to get the next room into the right state to give you a reposition. You drop out of bounds and drop into the void here.
Interesting. Like that.
Yep.
And just like that, Cestron is basically done with the seed. Is going to have to do, preserve the Sky Temple key hint, so it doesn't have to do Seekerless Sky Temple Gate again. So yeah, he's on track to finish the seed in about 10 minutes.
It's also really easy to mess up that reset, where if you walk just a little bit too far forward, then the terminal fall isn't loaded the way you need it to.
I see. Yeah, no Cobalt translator either, so can't just get out via... go the other way and get out via Worker's Path. Looks like Cestron's just going for a quick ammo refill, since we still don't have, and I've been meaning to change this for a while, we don't have the locations starting room set to landing site. I've been meaning to change that for a while, but I just keep never getting around to doing it.
Was there a vote to change it back to there?
There wasn't. That was the other reason I haven't gone around to doing a quick poll on it.
Because I remember what is like 2020, 2019 that people started doing the temple start, because with your logic, otherwise like the early game was always pretty much the exact same thing. You would either have Violet or main power bombs and first couple rooms.
Well, the thing is, there was a waiting issue with landing site start specifically. There was a waiting issue with the missile launcher where it would never be placed past Trooper Security Station, and as a result, because landing site start only has one item in logic right away, and that is is GFMC, that was guaranteed main power bombs every time. So, with the new patcher, and the other thing is with the hive doors turned down, and industrial site doors turned down, that does put more items into play, so we don't have to worry about that too much anymore. Mm-hmm. That waiting issue, I think, has also been fixed. So, it's for that reason we've been starting to reintegrate landing site. Because I know in the CGC tomorrow we're starting from landing site, I think. At least the CGC preset I threw in there that I had from 2 months ago. But final bosses are enabled, so Cestron's going to have a... You know, interestingly, we never saw the multiplayer pickups.
True.
Kind of surprised at that, as typically in seeds like this, the multiplayer pickups will show themselves relatively early. Although, given what we've seen now, they're probably all just chilling in Lower Torvis.
Most likely.
That's probably where a lot of our remaining stuff is. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Yeah, we'll be able to see it in credits as long as Cestron lets it get to that point.
I'm sure he will. If he's not done cursing me out by the time the seed is over.
Yeah. And you gotta get that out before you get into the speed gaming chat. Or, well, the commentary room, at least.
Yeah. Ooh. I didn't think the field of light got changed, too, in this version. Because that was definitely bluer than it used to be. But yeah, no need to make a pit stop for ammo here, as Cestrion is already fully juiced up.
I wonder if Cestrion will go for the Sunburst Emperor-ing just to flex.
That is exactly what he's doing. Although, in hindsight, kind of isn't that effective if you're using the super strat, because you still have to fire 4 combos anyway. It's really good with Annihilator spam, though.
Yeah.
Or unlimited beam ammo. Alright, first power bomb was good. Second power bomb is good. Oh, except he is getting bullied by these puddles.
Not quite getting the perfect EI3, but only 2 screw attacks is still really good.
Yeah, that's about as good as you can get with without crashing the game on the lasers.
Yeah. Or without nailing the Taz strat, which I've seen a few people do.
Alright, now please no center. But yeah, another even weekly seed brought to its knees by the power of the screw attack unmorph. Yeah, because now I shudder to imagine where Light Suit wandered off to. Why? Because I can, Cestrion.
A little bit early on that screw attack.
Yeah, he could fire a missile here and be okay. Because I believe he's 2 dark shots short, yeah.
Yeah, but it's better to just wait it out.
And just adds the question mark. And just adds the question mark for good measure. I think that was still too early.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a bonk. But this is danger. This is safe enough territory. So if Cestrion went to... Personally, I just like doing Dark Beam because it's way more consistent, albeit slower.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been a good smack.
Oh yeah, that was very nice.
And that's going to do it. Cestrion finishes with a race time GG time of, checks notes, 1:43.10. That is good for first place overall and on the restream. Once again, GG's to Cestrion. I should probably run now, shouldn't I?
Most likely.
I kid, of course.
One of the most impressive things about seeing Cestrion play, in my opinion, is just how consistently he gets under 150.
Indeed. And Cestrion joins us in the booth. GG to you, Runs and Hides.
GG. Captain Y.
I mean, what did you expect?
He killed me with that item, too.
I expected the Mining Plaza SDK. I did not expect it every other item.
Well, the Student Mining Plaza, I thought that was just textbook at this point, but not Mining Plaza. Sorry, Plane of Dark Worship. But yeah, the chain for Boost Ball was pretty bad. We don't even know where Light Suit is. We'll see it in your credits in about 2 minutes and all, but or Cobalt Translator for that matter. But yeah, you broke the seed in half with the SAU. So
I mean, I was like, okay, I'm gonna attempt the SAU, but I still got to get the energy in case I don't get it like in a couple tries. I would just like reset, and then my plan was to get Echo Visor out of bounds, and then go back for that SDK. But fortunately, I could redeem myself from last time, where I very much miserably not got it.
Yeah, so the logic for Boost Ball was actually, I'm thinking about Boost Ball because that's where it started to get. This was a fairly smooth opener because Space Jump Screw Attack right away, no issues with bombs. Power bombs were free. Got a little spicy with Boost and Spider Ball because you had to fight Jump Guardian, go back to GFMC, go through Aegon back to Sank for what's it called? Good grief. Boost Ball.
Yeah, Boost Ball.
And where was Dark Visor again?
Amorbus.
Oh, right. Amorbus. I'm trying to think if anything... I'm trying to think if you had to take that path. Oh, well, it depends on where Seeker Missiles are, because we have no idea where Seeker Missiles are.
Actually,
wait, yeah, you had to, because Boost wasn't Sank. Because, yeah, you couldn't have gone through Sank entrance.
Yes. So the problem was, I'm gonna assume that maybe I don't have those credits yet here, but I'm gonna assume that Seekers maybe are in Sank entrance. But yeah.
That's what we were thinking as well, because Sank entrance was in play as early as Boost.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't spoil it. We're gonna see in a second.
Oh god, no. Oh my god, no. They were right there. I could have gotten that.
All right.
Oh, that too. Oh, that was unfortunate.
All right, let's get the official bad news here. Because I've been curious about this for a while. Because the SAU broke everything, but logically this seed was complete trash.
The suit is bad, and Seekers and Cobalt are actually not that bad.
All right.
I really know about Echo Visor. I haven't looked at Annihilator Beam actually.
The Battleground Ink Cache. We were speculating the Battleground Ink Cache. Funny that. Gravity was in Mining Station B, so that wasn't too bad. Seeker Lit Missiles, Venomous Pond. So they were right around the corner. Cobalt Cache B right behind Supers, which were in Cat West.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, that is a little ugly.
So I guess since Seekers were in where they were, so I don't know what the... Oh wait, the Logic suit is the one in Battleground then.
Yes.
Plane of the Warship would be Light Suit.
Mm-hmm.
So the difficulty about this seat specifically was the moment when I got Boost Ball. I decided to do like labs. Maybe I like the biggest motivation was E-Tanks because I only had one, and I'm like, okay, I am that far in the seat. I probably want to maybe go for more E-Tanks in case I don't find the suit at any given point. Which I did. I found like 2 or 3 E-Tanks through that. And then it got really difficult. Like, you had 3 options. You either go gamble on Sank entrance for just 1 check, which is in Logic. Could be Seekers, could be Supers. It's bad. Second, you know that Mining Plaza is required, so the chances that Amorbus is required are relatively high. And I was really struggling with my decision there, and but still I was like, it's just 2 checks, like I get in cash for 2. And I didn't know when I want to come back for like the key then at that point. Like if I do Amorbus, I don't know when I come back for Aegon at all. accept the key that is there. So I decided to do Sank, which was disappointing at first, but that super message just like turned it all the way around for me.
That pretty much saved the trip through Sen, because other than Sky Temple keys, there was nothing in there besides Boost Ball.
It saved me a lot because I had a plan to go to Torvus immediately then, while getting hints. Also, it was a little bit dangerous getting hints with that much A-Tank. But we managed. I also didn't have too much to read. Also, I knew about like 3 SDKs at that point, I think. And I only needed like 2 more.
Yeah, we kind of guessed. We kind of guessed Hive Dynamo Works was going to be a key, so we did have that going for us. So yeah, and it's funny because I was thinking the Battleground in cache earlier that would have the other suit, given that we knew where Dark Visor was, and we knew that it couldn't be Dark Visor locked, Dark Suit locked.
Yeah.
So yeah, Battleground in cache was a pretty strong suspicion.
And then since I took the route through Temple Grounds, getting hints, going to Torvus, and then I think it might have been better to break into Torvus because you got like so powerful hints. Like you got a suit hint, you got a hint for Echo Visor, I think.
Yeah, the Echo hint.
A hint for Dark Visor as well. I think all those 3, like that you basically needed.
Yeah, because besides the Spider Ball hint, the other hints before Emerald were complete trash.
Yeah.
Shout out to Spider Ball being effectively hinted twice.
Yeah, that was really bad. I was really mad about that because I was like, well, we had so much stuff in the beginning, and GFMC is already in logic with Space Jump to Screw Tag. So I go for the play early. And of course, the 2 things that you orphan is DMT and GFMC ship. And of course, both have progression items. That was so stupid.
Mighty Caesar did the exact same thing.
I mean, yes. I think at that point you do that play. But that really turned out that unlucky is just cruel. It's just cruel.
Indeed. Well, that's Randovania for you, folks.
Yeah. Also, I didn't expect that main PBs to be there where they were. Like, I thought like it's gonna be like either Emerald itself or like I don't know, Darkbeam maybe.
I was guessing Mining Station Access at first, but yeah, then they showed up in Transport Access and was like, wait a minute, that just adds more to the mystery.
Yeah.
Kind of. They couldn't have been that far.
So what happened to Caesar actually?
I died to one very specific item.
Which is?
The suit.
Oh, you went for the suit.
Yep.
How much E-Tank did you had?
What I had? 3 or 4.
3 or 4, but you went for it at only 200.
I went at like 260.
Something along that line.
That's a little bit rough. If you go for that, then use Screw Attack. If you have more, you can boost.
Yeah. And I went for the Screw Attack, but I messed up the first Screw Attack, bonked on the ceiling, and then didn't ward on it.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, you're gonna have to be really careful with that.
Well, that being said, is there anything else, runners, that you would like to say before we close out this afternoon?
No, I don't have anything to add. I'm pretty proud that I could show off the SAU.
Yes.
It's a very difficult trick, very hard to do. But otherwise, yeah, ban captain.
Oh, jeez. I knew I should have ran and hid. All right. Well, that being said, folks, again, thank you to our runners, Mighty Caesar and Cestron. GG's to the both of you once again for putting on a great show for us here on this Saturday afternoon. Thanks to Op82, our ever-present tracker, making sure everybody knows who has what. We will be back tomorrow afternoon, same time, maybe same channel, not sure yet, for the Prime Weekly, which will be cross-game. So look forward to that, folks. It's going to be a good time. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, we have a 5th weekly, 5th Saturday in September. I'm thinking we might need to do another door rando seed.
Oh, geez.
That could be interesting.
Indeed. But that being said, folks, stay tuned for more shenanigans here on the Speed Gaming channels. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next mission. Take care.
See ya.